Welcome back to the Noonan Race Engineering YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to take you through the process of repairing a 4.8 bore space Hemi. There is major damage to this block on both sides. One side we're already fixed and had a piece of a rod out, and on the other side, there's major damage to the pan rail. The block you see here is from a top alcohol funny car. What you're looking at here is total catastrophic engine failure. This failure even sent debris through the top of the camtall. Spencer's already started this block repair process and is already in the middle of grinding. First, you want to make sure that all your material is prepped. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and size up our materials. All of this damage is going to be repaired before we put it back in the machine. Spencer's also going to double bevel everywhere that he's going to put a weld. This is a vital part of the welding process because this is going to give Spencer full penetration anywhere that he welds. As you know, you'll continuously measure this to make sure it's right before you cut. Once you cut, just go ahead and go back over to the block, fit it up. You want to make sure that you have more than enough material so you can machine it down flat. The worst thing you can do in this situation is put this back into the machine without enough material to cut. It's not going to be the exact size of the hole, but you'll try to get it as close as possible, and then you'll round off those edges so you can fit it to the block and try to get a good tack up. Once you do this, you're going to go back and forth between block and cutting, just making sure that your measurements are right and that you have the proper size to fill in where the repair is needed. There will be debris everywhere on this. Luckily for us, we have a station dedicated for all of these repairs at Noonan. Now let's go over here and prep our welding materials. You'll go ahead and start by sharpening up that tungsten. You're typically only going to need to do this once for a repair like this. So right here, Spencer's already got his material. Just going to tap it in place a little bit. Now it's time to secure your ground, grab your torch, and tack this piece in place. He's only going to tack one side so he can get good adjustment, and then he's going to continue on, tacking each side. Now he's going to go ahead and start laying beads down. We'll show you from the inside how he's going to close up this hole. He's going to stay slow and steady during this process, closing that up. As you see, he's got it closed up, so he's going to go to the inside. He's going to grind that up so we can lay down a good weld on the inside. And now he begins on the inside of the wall. It's going to be basically the same as the outside. We're just trying to close up that protrusion. Don't forget during this entire process to keep a smile on your face, keep your good intention, but also keep whistling. Now he's going to start laying down more material on the inside. That's just basically building up the materials so that the machine has something to cut through when it's making a new surface. Outside, he's going to grind, and you're going to repeat these steps. You'll see him lay continuous beads on the outside. We sped up some of this process for you here, but no, this was very time consuming to get the outside of this block fixed. Remember, again, we're loading this up with weld. And this is very important for us because we need to get all the material that we can so we can remachine the exterior of this block and get that beautiful design back that you're used to when seeing a Noonan.
It's called a fade out. You don't want all your fade outs ran together. Stress riser causes cracks. So that's why I ran that one bead vertical, and I'm going to run another bead vertical here. So there's only one fade out.
Let's go ahead and start that whistling again. While we're in here, let's go ahead and clean up these nicks. All these nicks come from the blow up our racer had. But we'll go ahead and weld these up and make sure these are done so we can grind these down. Now that we're done with that side, let's turn this block around and start addressing this other damage on the other side. Side B is torn apart, guys. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go ahead and cut this entire piece completely out of the block. Right here, he's going to hammer this piece out. See it drop on the floor here. After he cuts this side out, he's going to grind down, make a nice smooth surface, and then he's going to actually replace this entire piece with a new piece of metal and fully weld up the side. Got to make sure those corners are real smooth before he replaces the material. And we're going to do the same as last time. We're going to measure. We're going to size up. We're going to start prepping these materials, and as he sizes up, you'll see that he's going to go ahead and continuously go back and forth between the block and the grind, just trying to make sure that he's got the best fit as possible before he starts welding. He's going to hammer this in and try to get a good fit on it. Let's waste no time. Let's go ahead and get the torch. Let's begin. After he tacks up both sides, he's going to immediately start closing off the outside of the block. He's He's got more coverage to do on this side because it actually goes all the way to the bottom of the block. He's gonna flip it over, and let's go ahead and begin on the inside. And if you notice there's a brace in there, that brace is to help rigidity of the block. We want it to stay exactly like it is throughout this entire process so that we know the metals have not shrunk or pulled together. Now he's going to start laying material on the inside of this, and he's going to be extremely generous on this side. He's going to keep feeding that torch all the way up and around because, as you see, he's going to have to weld up and around the outside or the bottom of that block. Right there where that wall was damaged, he's going to have to make sure the materials stick. We also call that the pan rail. That has to be straight and it has to seat perfectly. Adding material never hurt anybody, so we're going to add a lot of it. Now he's going to go to the outside of the block, still keeping that same weld all the way up to the top. We're going to speed through the process of him welding this outside, but again, we're going to add a lot of material. We're going to try to lay down the most consistent bead that we possibly can. Notice he pays a lot of attention to the pan rail, and we're actually going to grind that down by hand and make sure that that is a perfect fit. When we send these blocks back out to the racer, there cannot be any issues with fitting up your pan or fitting up your parts. Let's address the top of the tunnel now. Knock all those pieces out. You're not going to need those. Let's get the grinder and start grinding. This hole in the top, you really won't affect anything as it adds extra oiling, but what we like to do at Noonan is we're going to actually weld this completely back up and make sure that it has a proper seal. You see here he's going to arc and build up all the way around. He's basically going to swirl around over and over again. This is a tricky weld right here because he has nothing to weld to or nothing as a center point. So what he's actually going to do is he's going to actually weld around and around in circles to build up material. He basically wants to remake the surface, but he has to do it from the sides. This is one of the most time-consuming pieces of this repair. Here, if you look, he's feeding a lot of material. Keep it going right here until you can puddle up. He feeds heavy right here when it gets to the end of the puddle. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There is your block repair. Now we're going to take this back to the CNC and resurface the exterior of this block. We're going to try to make it as good as new for the customer, so that way when the customer gets it and puts it back into the race car, they feel like they have a brand new Noonan. Tell us in the comments below if you'd like to see that portion of the repair. If you like this video, go ahead and follow for more, as we're going to have a lot more repairs and a lot more information coming from this channel.